In this video, I want to present some business examples of text mining so that we can understand when an organization might want to use this business intelligence approach. Now, note that by business, I don't necessarily mean a commercial organization. I mean any kind of organization, such as a government um, entity, a not-for-profit organization, a hospital, or school, or so on. Let me begin by motivating the topic from the perspective of big data variety. So one of the main aspects of big data is the fact that today there are so many different kinds of data beyond traditional tabular text and simple categories. So tech data that is important to organizations now appears in documents, tweets, social media, and so on. And text mining is a very particular approach that can access the semantic meaning within these documents, at least to some extent, and convert them to numeric and simpler categorical variables that can then be used for meaningful analysis. Now, note that it's not only data that already exists in text, data that is in audio or in video can be extracted and converted to text, and then text mining approaches can be used for it. Now, for other big data variety formats such as images, video, and maybe geographic coordinates, they would require other kinds of techniques. But at least when you have text in complex formats, when you have audio, and when you have audio embedded in video, text mining can access this valuable kind of organizational data. Now, there's at least two major different kinds of text mining, also called text analytics. The two terms are widely used interchangeably, though I have a particular preference, which I'll explain shortly. And these two perspectives are from the unsupervised and supervised learning perspectives of machine learning. Now, unsupervised learning means that there is no ground truth for comparison, but the analysis is done very subjectively, and the computer is trying to learn patterns which hopefully are useful to the analyst. From this perspective, the analysis of text is the goal of the analysis. You have maybe documents with rich meaning embedded in them, and the computer is trying to provide some sort of structure to this and present it in a way that can be understood, interpreted, and acted upon by human managers. A major aspect of this perspective, and this is perspective I prefer to call text analytics. Uh, a major aspect of this are text visualizations, such as word clouds, as you see here. The other major aspect of text mining, and this is what I prefer to call text mining proper, though people use both terms interchangeably, is a supervised learning perspective, also known as predictive analytics. And this is where there is some feature that is being learned, such as customer review recommendations, whether customers will buy a product or not, the amount of sales that a company will make. And the text analysis is done to convert the text into numbers and simple categories that can then be used for typical or standard data mining techniques. In this case, the text analysis, the text processing is not the goal in itself. It's a pre-processing stage to convert the text into formats that can then be used subsequently for analysis. So understanding these two perspectives, I now want to discuss two concrete business examples where text analytics can help to make important organizational decisions. The first comes from an article by Wang et al., 2013, and the citation is presented at the end of this video. And it's from the context of entrepreneurship. If we understand that what entrepreneurs do is that they bring ideas into fruition, hopefully useful ideas. And so entrepreneurs try to find what people need, not just what people want, but what people really need. And they convert what people need into a solution, and they bring that solution into realization, and they make it available. That's the essence of what entrepreneurs do. So entrepreneurs are always looking for new ideas, either for completely new products or services, or to improve or enhance existing products or services. And entrepreneurs are typically creative people, but creativity does not occur in a vacuum. Creativity occurs from listening to people, really understanding needs, because an entrepreneur might have a really great idea, something really nifty, but there's not enough need for it out there, meaning that perhaps only a few people need that, and not enough who would actually pay resources to fund the realization of that improvement. So entrepreneurs are constantly on the lookout for new ideas, but also they're trying to really get a sense of how feasible the ideas are. So from that context, this article looks at microblogs such as Weibo and Twitter. A microblog is a service where people can post messages that are heavily restricted in length. So at the time of this article, Weibo is the leading Chinese microblog service. It's kind of equivalent to Twitter in its functionality. At the time of this article, both of them were limited to just 140 characters. Since then, I think Weibo has extended to around 2,000 words and Twitter to 280 characters. But the point being that these are services through which people can send very short messages, and so that readers with short attention spans can just get the gist, and usually there's a link if they're interested for more. And by monitoring these services, entrepreneurs can get an idea of what people are interested in. Like people might say things like they might criticize a product and say, why doesn't it do this? Or I wish it could do that. And by pinpointing those keywords, those could draw entrepreneurs' attention to the things that people are actually asking for. That is an expressed need. And the great thing about this is that it's not just entrepreneurs' creativity, but it's actually what people are looking for. And by looking at the intensity of people's messages, which text mining can help to assess, the entrepreneur can get an idea of how badly people need it. And by looking at the replies, how many people echo the needs, they can get an idea of the potential market size of the potential service or improvement, so that if they were to invest to actually solve that problem, there would be enough people who would be willing to pay for the improvement to fund the entrepreneur's investment. So this is an example of where text mining could be useful. Another example is in the context of luxury and marketing. So in the fashion industry, this is also an industry where creativity is important, and perhaps more so than in the entrepreneurship example I gave, where really people are very much looking for new fashions, new trends, things that are really not like what was before. And it's not so much a matter of need as a matter of desire and pleasure and satisfaction. And in the fashion industry, pictures are huge. And so sites like Instagram and Pinterest are very popular because they visually show fashions, they show trends, they show what people like. Now, these kind of images are big aspect of big data variety, and there are tools that can try to get a sense of what is in an image, but no computing tool can get a sense of how beautiful something is or really describe in detail its unique features. That requires human eyes. However, it's just impossible for fashion designers to keep track of the thousands or hundreds of thousands of new posts and pictures that are being sent out every day. Uh, but text mining can help in an interesting way, as this article by WealthX describes. And that is taking advantage of the fact that these Instagram or Pinterest posts always include, or almost always include, a little bit of commentary, and there are often replies to them, and the replies are often very emotional, such as "This is cute," "This is fantastic," "I would love to have that," and by pinpointing that text and just looking at what text, what are people really liking, what are they really interested in, what is getting a lot of replies, then that will draw the attention of the designers that this post is worth looking at. So instead of having to scan 1,000 posts a day, they might only scan 10 to 50 posts that get very interesting responses based on the text. One thing I really like about this example is that it illustrates artificial intelligence not replacing humans in identifying what is trending fashion, but augmenting human ability. So this is often called augmented intelligence, where there's a partnership between the AI and the humans in achieving the humans' goals. And text mining plays a critical role here in drawing attention to the humans, where the human eyes and the human brains then comes in to do the important assessment. So hopefully these examples give you a sense of how text mining can help organizations to achieve some of their goals.